What up, everybody? Happy Tuesday to you. Taco Tuesday, as they say. What's good? How you feel? Welcome to another dope edition of Dope Chats with Stretch. This is my very first show for 2024. I know you're saying to yourself, well, Stretch, you was doing, you was hitting us with the bangers in all 2023, getting us all pop, excited and ready for 2024. And then you just disappeared. Well, you know what? That's right, man. I did my Dave Chappelle, man, but I ain't go to Africa. I was just working on some other things. You feel me? Most importantly, working on getting my real estate license. So be on the lookout for that, man. That's another big adventure that I'm ready to pop into. But with that being said, man, I thought it is time to bring back Dope Chats with Stretch, and it's a great time to do that as we are getting ready to jump out of these winter months and get ready and get into this summer months. And there's a lot going on in the world, especially in the entertainment field. And I figured, why not go to the source? Why not find out what's popping, right? You know what I'm saying? And so with that being said, I'm bringing to the stage right now my homegirl, my friend. You know what I'm saying? She's like my consigliere. Is that the consigliere? I think that's a word. But you know what I'm saying? We always talking about something. I'm talking about none other than my girl, Deja Perez, on the scene. What up, Deja?
Hola. How are you, Stretchy?
Man, I'm good. It's good to see you. And it's been a minute, but Happy New Year. I guess we can still say that, somewhat. But it's the same.
4 months in, but it's cool.
4 months in, yeah, no doubt, man. But it's all good, man. How you been?
Good, you?
I can't complain. I'm looking good. What you think, Deja? Should I keep this or should I cut it?
I like it. I like the little salt and pepper. It makes you look a little distinguished,
Yeah.
Your grown man sees.
Yeah, a little something. So, as we were prepping for tonight's show, I was like, oh, something popped up on my timeline. Ironically, it's funny how the your phone and all that stuff be listening. So, I was like, Deja, I want you to do the show, yada yada yada. The other day, and she's like, all right, cool, let's make it happen. So this morning, as I was like putting together,
be accurate. You called me and you were like, you gonna be on this show. Like, let's start with the truth. But that's
okay. Cool. All right, you're right. My bad. I strong armed you. I said, Deja, I need you to do the show. You know what I'm saying? Oh dang, ain't that something?
My memories popped up on your phone.
Yeah, the memory popped up on my phone. I was just saying how my ring light just went out, but and it was like from 7 years ago, 6 or 7 years ago when we was in the studio.
Yeah. No, you know where we were when we took that picture? We were at the Howard Theater for something.
Yeah. Oh no, not the picture. Oh. I posted them on Facebook, but the Howard Theater, yes, that was a long time ago. That was at the Howard Theater. Was it the Howard Theater? Mm-hmm. No.
The picture we took on the flyer?
Yeah, you think that was how? I thought that was. I thought
it could have been in the studio. Could have been either it was at the studio or at the Howard Theater. One of the two.
No, I thought that was the Fillmore.
Was it
I think it was the Fillmore.
I feel like it was the Howard Theater, but it's fine either way.
But nonetheless, I'm going off on a tangent. I was more so talking about it was something that popped up on my Facebook when we were in the studio actually together. It was like we was using one of those like filters that made you look like you was in the movie in a music video for Aha. Take take on me, I'll be gone. Hit the note, Deja. Forever.
No.
but man,
I do love that song. I'm sorry. I do love that song.
That was just a dope memory that just happened to pop up. I was like, damn, my phone is listening. You know what I'm saying? Because man, we used to do some wild and some funny videos back in the day.
So what happened, to explain it, right? Like, so Stretch would be on the air and then I would come on after him and we'd have all sorts of shenanigans during the changing of the guard. So.
Right. It's like I didn't want to leave because it was just too funny just sitting up there chopping it up. You know what I'm saying? So
exactly.
Man, I miss those days. But ironically, I think I can get back in the building now since I'm part of the family. I think I can get back in the building now, Deja. You know what I'm saying? Man, that's crazy. That's crazy. So let's get into it, Deja. I mean, what's popping?
What's popping? I don't know. What of the multitude of things that's popping would you like to delve into?
I mean, I want to get your perspective on your thoughts on the Beyonce album. I personally listened to it about like 5 times, just like straight. I had to, so I can kind of absorb it. You know what I mean? And to be honest with you, I think it's a phenomenal album. I think it's probably one of her best projects that she's ever put out.
That's actually what she called it. She said this is the best album she's ever done.
See, Beyonce be knowing what I be talking about. You know what I'm saying? I want them Beyonce fans come for me, and I'm trying to figure out what the hell is going on with my ring light.
It's protesting. Is it plugged in all the way?
Yeah, it's plugged up into my computer.
It's just janky.
I don't know. I got it off Amazon, so
I got mine off Amazon too. What that mean? All right, back to Beyonce. You just gonna be a little darker.
Let's talk about Beyonce.
All right, let's talk about it. What would you like to talk about? The album.
So what was you expecting prior? What was your thought as you listened to the album, or more or less, what was your what were you thinking you was going to get?
So I didn't really have like a preconceived notion of what to expect. I know that she made it very clear that it was not a country album. The window's open, sorry. She made it very clear in the beginning that it was not a country album, right? She said this is a Beyonce album. And I didn't really have an expectation. I don't think I ever go into a Beyonce album expecting anything. I will say that I was hella surprised. I feel like it wasn't all country by any means. I feel like okay, true confession. I love me some Dolly Parton, right? And I love that she did Jolene. I love that she did a modern day twist on Jolene. I love that Dolly did the intro for the song of Jolene. And Dolly's actually credited as the only writer on that remake song, which I think is very interesting as well. But I thought it was that one, and I think it was American something. I can't think of the song.
I think it's American Requiem.
Yes, that and the alligator one, and I think Spaghetti. There's something about it. I don't know. It is, as you said, it's a phenomenal album. You can tell she put her heart and soul in it. I know she got a lot of smoke from, other genres like country music, particularly white country. Well, we don't have black country stations, but white country stations, country stations were at first when she dropped Texas Hold'em, they really weren't even trying to play the record, even though it checks all the marks of being a country record, right? But they didn't want to because it was Beyonce. Fine. I feel like she caught a lot of heat for what she did do. She took a lot of first of all, Black people have been in country from the beginning of time. Let's be clear about that. Okay. Right, exactly. But there have been a lot of Black artists that are in country that haven't gotten the recognition. I think the only one that really has gone super crazy high is Mickey Guyton, or what I always butcher her last name.
Mickey Guyton, and also you got my homegirl Reese Palmer.
Yes, but all the other ones that were kind of up and coming, she really initially people were like, if you read some of the comments, people are like, oh, I can't believe Beyonce's getting all this recognition. Like she's the first person that did country, woo, woo, woo. No one's saying she's the first one that did country. What we're saying is that she elevated it to include those up and comings, right? Which I think is super important. But more importantly, as Black people, she made a space for us. Whereas people prior to her, yes, were trying to, but they didn't have, and this is not shadeful, but they didn't have the magnitude and the star power that Beyonce is going to bust in the door, waving the 4-4. That is what Beyonce and her star power magnitude can bring. It makes all eyes be on this project, all eyes be on these Black country artists. And I think it's so dope because of that. Yeah,
absolutely. I mean, it's just like, I always say like this, when people always try to categorize, or not even really categorize, but try to, pigeonhole certain, music. Music is music. It's supposed to be enjoyed by the masses, regardless of if it's classical to,
correct.
It's
not about race.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah, it's about the vibe. It's about the just the music. You know what I'm saying? Music to me has no color in the sense of that. Yeah. So rather you rock with it or not. You know what I mean? So of course these the so-called gatekeepers are going to be all up in there. Had their drawers up their ass because they are just like, we have this and we got that. You guys got this. You guys got that.
Mm-hmm.
Fuck the bullshit, bro.
She is supposed to. First of all, she's already made history, right? She was the biggest debut of a female country artist, right? She's projected to sell 400,000 units in the first thing. Her first day streams were bananas.
Yeah.
And speaking of Dolly Parton, her streams have like gone up by, there are currently 20 million monthly streamers for Dolly Parton because of this Beyonce album. And
Right.
I love me some Dolly, so that's not shadeful, but 20 million people weren't checking in to see Dolly Parton before this Jolene remake. And I love that she included Willie Nelson on the album as well.
Yeah.
Like it was, you can see that she took her time with it. You can see that it was very intricately put together. You know, she didn't just throw this together. But the other piece of it that's so interesting is, like, this is one act, right? We're expecting another act 3 of, you know, this whole Renaissance thing, right? And the rumors are speculating that she's going to delve into the rock side when she does this next project. So I'm curious to see what's going to happen.
Yeah. You know, and the crazy thing about it too, a lot of people, if you don't really pay attention, or if you're not really in tune with what, you know, like the producers that she used, you know, The Dream wrote mad. He
wrote like not half, but a little, like less than half, but you know, a quarter. Yeah. I don't know, a quarter of the records that were on this album. He's worked on damn near every album.
Exactly.
He put out bangers.
So he's good to go for the rest of his life. But I think their work relationship that they have together really balances itself out, because they kind of, you know, that creative aspect of what they're putting out really kind of bangs, and it just goes in. You know, and I was watching, I think came up on my timeline on Instagram, I believe, you know, people were kind of like rating, you know, their songs, you know, favorite to least, or whatever the case may be. Yeah, I wouldn't say that, but they were just ranking them and how they rock with them. And I was like, man, yo, what's name need to be number one, man? That what's it, Riverdance? Oh, that joint. That's going to be a summer banger. Trust and believe.
The other thing I think that's so interesting is B stays rapping in something. She gonna spit bars, and she's really good.
Who wrote those lyrics?
I don't know.
We'll find out. I want to know. She got a ghostwriter. I think his name is Sean. But Kata. But nonetheless, I think it's a dope album. I think really people should really give it a chance.
And also, I'm sorry to cut you off. Also, it was done within a relatively short time. That's the other thing that's so kind of remarkable about it, because it's such a eclectic piece of artwork, and that she was able to do it within this past year, right? And she did all this whilst she was on her super duper Renaissance tour, and being a mom, being a wife, doing all the things. Honestly, it just makes me feel inadequate. I'm not even gonna lie.
But I think also too is like, you know, if you really listen to it, it seems like everything that she is saying or singing or, you know, conveying on this album is very like right of moment sort of stuff. So it's like, damn, you, even though they may have written that song, you know, 7-8 months ago, you kind of can go back and be like, yo, I'm feeling this right now. So, you know, when she's kind of like breaking it down, like how she feels she's being treated and things of that nature.
It's interesting because one of the things she said was, and it circled back to when she did something with the CMAs, I think, and she specifically said like she knows what it feels like to be in a space where she's not welcome. And so that was really the impetus for this album. It was to really break down some doors and allow more of us to feel comfortable in spaces that we're not generally accepted in.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely, man. We're talking live right now on Dope Chats with Stretch. It's the podcast that's being streamed live on Facebook, YouTube, and of course, Deja, I was trying to get this thing to rock on my IG, but the way IG has it set up to do live broadcasts, it's so stupid. So, you know, it's just ridiculous. Have you done one on your? Okay. So you can use stream. So I'm on StreamYard right now. So we're on StreamYard, and so you can, you know, simulcast from Facebook, YouTube, and IG. But the IG component is kind of dumb because you got to like copy your key, you got to put it in the thing, and then it has to be done like right then and there. And as I was trying to do it before we went live, it wouldn't work. So, you know, forget you, IG, trying to, you know what I'm saying, mess me up, man. But anyway, in other news,
yes,
there was a tweet that came out, or I guess it was a tweet or a post or whatever from Lizzo, where she was just said she's done. She says, I quit. She's done, you know, with all the, and people ran with it in the sense of saying she's, oh no, don't quit the music industry, blah, 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 blah. But she said she put out a post today or video stating that she's not quitting the music business. She's just quitting negative
energy, any attention. So it's interesting because she didn't specifically say I'm quitting music. I mean, I kind of feel like she kind of did, but
she said I quit.
She said I quit, right? Yeah. Like, well, you're a musician, so
what you quitting?
So anywho, but before that statement came out about her, I guess quantifying or giving context to what she said, the lawyer of one of the backup dancers, because she's embroiled in multiple lawsuits claiming harassment and yada yada yada, and bananas, yeah. But one of the lawyers for one of the people that's suing put out a statement like, this is a joke, she's whatever, and like I think that was the catalyst to get her on and be like, listen, let me clarify what I said. And what I meant was because it's true, like Lizzo is incredibly talented. She's a musician. She plays all sorts of instruments, like the flute and the this and the that. She's incredibly talented. She's incredibly self-confident and self-aware, and I think inclusive. And I followed her since before she became who she is now, right? Like I was a fan before people knew who she was. I just thought her energy was dope. I will say when I met her the first time, it was at a show, her energy wasn't giving great, but in general, like I feel like what she stands for is what we need more of in the world, right? And so when I met her that one time, I'm going to give her grace because maybe she had a bad day. People are, celebrities are people too. But I feel like she has been the butt of many jokes, right? So yes, she's a bigger girl.
Right, but go ahead. I was going to say, but do you think some of that's like she, and not to say that people, ask for it more or less, but she presents herself in a sense where she's, lining it up for people to come at her. You know what I'm saying?
Why do you say that? Because she's a bigger girl that wears whatever the hell she wants to wear?
No, I'm not saying that. I mean, okay. So for instance, like, I think someone had mentioned this. I forgot who it was, but it was on Instagram in the sense of like, presentation is everything on how you want to present yourself to people. So when you first come out and your first thing is you in a bathtub full of like candies, or you poke fun of yourself. So isn't that kind of giving leeway for other people to kind of?
I don't think so. And let me tell you why. Like I'm incredibly self-deprecating. That doesn't mean I want someone else to constantly remind me of my flaws. And I'm not saying that her weight is a flaw, because it's not. And that's I think the issue, because she's very opinionated and she's very confident and she's a beautiful woman. And I feel that's been tearing her down because she's a bigger woman, because she wears whatever. She's very free, and she should be, because I feel like the negativity she's gotten, and unfortunately we live in this world where appearances matter, right? And especially in the entertainment world, they've gotten more inclusive, but let's be real, we're still a far ways off from everybody kumbayaing, right? So I think the vitriol that is spat to her on a regular basis is a lot for any one person to deal with. Yes, sometimes she invites trouble, like when she had her ass out at the Lakers game or whatever it was. Like that was a bit much because kids are at that show. I get people's upset about that, right? But everything else she does, people seem to have a problem with it, and I really don't understand why.
I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's just the fact that I mean, I can't answer the question, to be honest with you. I mean, I'm just looking at it from I'm trying to look at it from I hate to use the term both sides, because I think that's just so whatever, but try to look at it from a perspective that is for everybody. That still kind of sounds like both sides.
Well, and the thing is too, and myself, I'm a bigger girl as well, so that's probably why I really
you is not. No, you is not. All right, go ahead.
I is, but that's okay. The scale says otherwise, but it's fine. Again, self-deprecating, I'm fine. But I feel like when she was coming out, she was so body positive and all these things that I needed in my life. And I don't know, I just feel like after a while, it's like, what else do you have to bitch about, right? Like, okay, she's a bigger girl. Other than that, how has she offended you? She played a flute that was from the Library of Congress or something crazy like that. Like, she's incredibly talented. And I feel like the nastiness overshadows her greatness. Like she's been through a lot. She lived in her car by herself at one point. Like her struggle is real. And I feel like now that she's made it and she can shine, that's when all the nonsense has come her way.
But you always know what they always say, the bigger you get, no
new level, new devil.
Yeah, exactly. And I wasn't trying to make a joke, you know what I'm saying? I wasn't.
What on
Paul? But yes, the more notoriety, the more popular and all that good stuff that you get, that's when the masses will come for you in ways that you will never even imagine. You know what I'm saying? So it's a crazy thing. But I wish her all the best. I think she's gonna be fine nonetheless. Just sit back, chill, do your thing, shorty. Let this shit pass by, and then she'll be back out, doing creative and more wonderful things for years to come. That's the hope. Yeah. So, Deja, this is our last topic of the night.
Okay.
This is a very wild and crazy time.
Yes, it is.
Did he do it? Did he do it?
Did he do it?
Did he do it? Did Yo, this shit is crazy.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Yeah, I mean, thoughts. What's popping?
All right. So in case anybody's been living under a rock, of course, Diddy. So this all really stemmed. People keep saying it's the Cassie thing that it stemmed from, but it really is prior to that, because there was a law that was passed in New York that allowed sexual assault survivors to civilly, basically file a civil lawsuit against their, what's the word? Assault. The person allegedly assaulting them, right?
Yeah, assaulting them, yeah.
So there were a couple people that came forward before the Cassie thing. Of course, the Cassie thing was like bananas. And then after Cassie, more people came out, right? So the issue is there was never any criminal charges brought against Diddy. All of this was under civil lawsuits, right? All of the information that any law agency got was from a civil lawsuit, right? So now they're like doing this probe and they raided both of his houses, which low key, high key, I feel a way about the footage being released. And let me tell you why, because at the end of the day, Diddy is a father, right? First and foremost, his young children are in the houses that you guys just gave us aerial surveillance of. You just showed me what this man's house looks like, both of his houses, right? His he has a 1-year-old daughter. He's got 3 16-year-old girls, like 17-year-old girls. They all are there at any given time. So from a safety standpoint, I'm not okay with it, right? The other thing I'm not okay with, and today it just came out that Misa Hilton, which is Diddy's first baby mama, she is Justin's mom. So she released footage that nobody had seen up until this point, and it shows they had military tanks and all sorts of things. Like it was like they were going to find what's El Chapo.
Like you're looking for El Chapo.
You know what I mean? Like, why are we doing all of this?
It was unnecessary.
It was completely unnecessary. But in addition to that, because of course his 2 sons that were there, which was Justin and Christian,
they handcuffed them.
They handcuffed him. But what Misa said in her thing was that one of them had a gun pointed at the back of their head. The other one had the lasers from the guns in his chest. Why would that be necessary? They're children. And not only that, how you rolled up in the house, right? Like that's immediately going to send people on guard, right? So as opposed to knocking and being like, hey, we have a search warrant, we're about to execute it. The way that they went about it, it seems punitive. It seems like they want to embarrass him. And I don't know what he did or didn't do, right? None of us do, because none of us were there. I will say, and I don't mean to minimize anything, but I do feel like a lot of this stuff happened maybe 20 plus years ago, right? Some of the stuff he's being accused of happened 20 plus years ago. And supposedly, I don't know if you believe if you believe it, I said some of the stuff. If you believe in conspiracy theories, right? Which some people do. If you recall, when Bill Cosby got taken down, he was trying to buy NBC at the time, right? Diddy, of course, has the results. I'm hearing rumblings that maybe they might be trying to come after Byron Allen, because at the end of the day, Diddy is a powerful Black man. That scares people. Now, how he came about being powerful, Yeah, there probably was some dirty shit that went on, right? And because the way that they seized all of the way that it sounds, I'm not even gonna lie to you, Stretchy. The way that it feels is that Diddy had dirt on people, and I feel like the people that he had dirt on went in his house to get the blackmailable information that was being held against him. Because this doesn't make sense. And furthermore, why has nobody been arrested? The feds, this is not local PD, right? This is the feds. The feds don't just get a search warrant for shits and giggles. They have to have just cause. All agencies have to have just cause, right? That's first and foremost. But you had it, you went in, you got whatever you got. Why is nobody arrested? Why do we not have charges against anyone?
Good question.
It feels like this is a lot of smoke and mirrors to me. It feels like a lot of, what is it back in the day with Salem when they would hang a witch trial? Okay, that's what it feels a little bit like, because they're embarrassing him. They're doing all of these things. And what do you have against, like, what have you found? What are the charges?
You know, unless they have whatever they went and they picked up and they took back to, you know, wherever, and they're using that to build the case. I mean, I'm sure we're going to find, or something's going to come out eventually. You know, it's the matter of them building the case, more or less. I guess I don't know, but nonetheless, I think it's just still kind of a wild situation. You know, from the standpoint of, it goes to show you how quick people, especially on the internet, so quick to turn. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody wants to chime in, and you start getting like these reaction videos, or people, you know, regular, you know, Joe Schmo who don't know shit about nothing, sit up there and talk about, you know, this happened today, you know, like they're giving like a firsthand encounter of what went on, you know. And at the end of the day, like you said, you know, regardless of, you know, and I'm not, you know, trying to, you know, downplay anything, but, you know, if that man did some dirty stuff and did some things that was, you know, unscrupulous and just, you know, devious to individuals, he gonna have his time to answer to that.
Here's the other thing, and I know I'm a bit of a, like, you know, bleeding heart, but at the end of the day, I struggle with this, because even though, yes, it's entertainment news and that's what I do, but the challenge is, this is not fodder. This is a real life person. This is it's almost like watching a reality show, but it's not reality show, right? And at the end of the day, everyone's talking about him. He's the butt of every joke, all of these things, right? He's still a human. He still has feelings. He still has kids, mom, whatever. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. I just feel like people are so quick to, and again, not excusing anything that may or may not have happened. But he's still a person. And I feel like people forget that celebrities are people, and they have feelings, and they I don't know. I don't enjoy having to bash someone. And I purposely try not to. I mean, there are times where, you know, there's shit that I don't like. Okay, cool. But this seems very personal. I don't know. This seems like it's an attack on him. I'm not justifying anything that may or may not have happened. It's just how it's playing out. The math ain't mathin'. Let me just say that.
Yeah, the math ain't mathin', for sure. But, you know, and, you know, kind of to touch on one of the things you said, like, yeah, I get it. Some of these celebrities, they are, you know, celebrities, they are people too. Yes, I get it. But some of them don't act like they're people. You know what I'm saying? They act like they're above and beyond everything.
True.
And they act like, you know, whatever. I mean, look at the world that we're living in now. You know what I'm saying? There's like, anybody can become, quote unquote, a celebrity, you know what I'm saying, just off of posting something, you know what I mean, that gets
and that's the other thing, because we live in this clout chase world, right, where everybody wants like 15 seconds of fame because they got a celebrity to clap back at them, or they did something crazy in the Walmart or whatever. Everyone is looking for the, you know, the 5 minutes of notoriety,
right?
Whatever, you know, it is
like my Avant. I with my 4 minutes.
Not Avant. That was a throwback.
Yeah, man. I'm you know, I'll be knowing my things, yo.
Because you've been dope since '76, right?
Pretty much. But yeah, man, that's just the crazy thing about it. And as we, you know, kind of wrap this up in regards to this Diddy situation, like, I think, but, you know, I don't know if you got a chance to watch that documentary Quiet on the Set on the about the Nickelodeon
So
situation?
not yet, because I feel like with that, I have to be in the right, like,
No, you gotta watch it. You gotta watch it.
I know it's a lot.
Same heat, that
But here's
same
the thing.
heat. No, hear me out, because I wanted to, because this is where, I think a lot of stuff gets, cast aside. But I want them people to take that same heat that they came after, Diddy, come after them dudes who ain't Diddy color, who did some, nefarious to children on children. So come after that, especially. I mean, I know that the dudes. So you got to watch it. The guys that got arrested and stuff like that, but some of them was able to get out and still go work on television sets
with other kids.
With other kids. Come on.
Exactly. It make sense.
Exactly. So,
that's why I'm saying I feel like there's something slightly off about the treatment, right? The what he's endured versus what people who have done markedly worse that we're aware of anyways, right? And the other interesting part is it shows your loyalties, right? Because there are people that are sticking with him, and then there are people that are like saying their truths. Then I heard something about them trying to reopen the 90-something case about the nightclub shooting. Like, we just gonna dig up all the old dirt because that case was settled. Shine went to jail for that, right? Like, what are we doing?
It's a lot. It's a lot. I saw an interview, I think it was from years ago though, with Day 26, when they were just kind of, but you know how people chop things up, you know what I'm saying? Chop things up. Especially like, now I don't know what Meek Mill be doing, but I believe we living in a day and age where we have AI.
And that's concerning.
Yes. And so anybody's voice can be recreated and manipulated to create these different scenarios or these different little things. And so that's why I'm like, come on, man, we got to be very careful. That's what technology.
That's really scary. It's real. I'm not gonna lie. It's really, really scary, because the thing is, before we used to at least have confidence if we saw videographic or picture evidence, right? Before we could say, okay, that's valid. Now with AI and Photoshop and all these other things, you can manufacture a whole fake video. And it looks real.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. That scares me. I'm not even gonna lie. That really scares me.
I know, it's just wild. It's like that time me and Nia Long got married, and
for sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
Whatever. But no, but you're right. It's a wild time, you know what I'm saying? But yeah.
And also the artists, because apparently there's like 300 artists that have signed a petition, because you know how AI is trying to like basically you can use Beyonce's voice on something else, right? But Beyonce didn't give her permission, or is she getting credit, right? And that could be incredibly damaging to her brand, because you can do it. You can have her doing something, I don't know, compromising or whatever, right? That's very scary. So there are a bunch of artists that have signed a petition trying to basically say, like, let's keep AI out of the music industry, because like you're messing with my money, which they're not wrong.
But those things is funny, because I mean, that shit is starting to come to the light as we speak. Because if you ever like just scroll or watching videos or whatever on your Instagram or on your Facebook, they have those, where you can tell that they're manipulated videos and AI generated, videos with a celebrity talking about, and their mouth doesn't really match what they're saying, but it's the person's voice. It's the AI's voice. Like, hi, I'm Kelly Clarkson. You want to know how I lost weight? You got to do da-da-da. You know what I'm saying? So they're using it for,
their name, image, and likeness, right? Yeah. Like, that's the issue.
Right. And like that has to stop. But
the problem is that technology is moving faster than the laws can catch up.
We're going to be in a world with like Will Smith and AI pretty soon.
Yeah, in iRobot.
But yeah, that's what it was called, iRobot. Yeah, same thing. But you ain't going to see me, damn robot hanging on. Oh, damn, I do got a robot. Alexa.
So I don't do Alexa. Like, she creeps me out. I don't do Siri. I don't do Alexa. I don't do any of those things. They creep me out.
Well, they always listen. You got to cut their microphone off. But even still, I think once you open it up into your, it's always listening.
It is.
So wait a minute. If you don't do Alexa, you don't do Siri. What kind of phone you have?
I have an iPhone. Don't even stretch your cans. Don't even do that. I have an iPhone. All
You
my
just
products are Mac.
you
Don't
just
do that.
don't you just don't use the Siri option.
No, I don't even enable it. It's weird to me.
You're gonna need it one day. You're gonna be
I
like,
know.
you're gonna be
I
like,
know.
Cecilia, cut on the lights.
I feel like there needs to be. Is there a guy version of Siri? I don't know.
I don't know. I think you can change the
The voice.
yeah, you can change it to whomever, you know what I mean? But that would still, freak me out because I think like years ago, it's like they had like Snoop on there. You like Snoop giving you directions and shit. So like
Shizzle. Take a lift, sizzle.
not nizzle. You know what I'm saying? Like nobody. I'd be like, nah, man. I'll stick with Siri. But the lady who does the Siri voiceover doesn't have to work another day in her life.
Oh,
like,
God, no. But can we talk about that from a voiceover perspective, right? Since you and I both do that, that's my concern about the Alexas and the series is because I'm giving you my voice. That's the crux of it. That's why I'm not okay with it because this is what I use for my living.
right.
Is my voice and how I sound, right? And I don't want that to be AI generated somewhere else, which it probably is. I mean, shit, you can get it anywhere.
It probably is, at this
I don't want to contribute to it.
right. But nah, you right. Nah, you got a good point. You got a very, very, very solid good point. Good stuff. So did you watch the game last night?
Which one?
The basketball game with the oblong object that goes into the hoop.
The LSU game or like NBA?
I want to talk about LSU, Caitlin Clark, Angel Reese situation, and then and we'll jump off of that. Of course,
sure.
Yeah, because of course that was quite the kerfuffle, as they say, that was going on leading up to this game. Based off of course, you remember last year LSU defeated Iowa in the championship. Blah blah blah. They tried to paint the young ladies as thugs and evil and this that because they're black, exactly. This year it was like the retribution game. It was like, we're coming back, the fairy princesses of the lovely state of Iowa. Yeah, are going to trample over these, as the LA Times try to say, these dirty debutantes. You know what I'm saying? It's just the bullshit, man. It's just it just irritates me on how we are now in 2024, and we continue to have race be such a big thing that divides us when it's supposed to be about a game. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? It's a game.
Here's the thing. First of all, I think that Caitlin Clark, you know what I'm saying? She's an absolute beast, right?
Yeah.
She really is. Like, she's breaking records left and right. God bless her. Going into the draft, Ice Cube's offered her $5 million to play in the Big Three with good reason, because he said that this also will help propel the WNBA to pay their athletes better. It's not just race, it's also sexist, right? Because a lot of men's basketball talks shit all day. And it's fine, right? Like, it's totally fine. But when women do the same shit, particularly a Black woman, now it's problematic. I don't understand that. And let's be clear, Angel Reese, the Bayou Barbie, is a badass bitch. And I mean that with all respect, right? Like, she's very good at what she does. And I want to mention that after the game, when they did the press conference, right? Of course she was upset. Of course the team was upset. They wanted to win again. I'm kind of excited that Caitlin got to win on her going out, right? Good luck. That's not shameful, but it's a dope way to end her. She already broke the record with the 3,000 points. She's done all the things. Like, that's kind of a cherry on top, right? Good for her. For the LSU ladies, the Lady Tigers, they wanted that win so bad. That's why they were upset. That's why they were, emotional during the press conference. But also, all day on all sports things, people are talking about Angel Reese's comments during her the post game, right? The reality is that girl has had vitriol spit at her since before last year's championship was over, right? So it's been a solid year plus. You've talked about her her looks, you've talked about how she dresses, you've talked about how she acts, what she does. Everything she does, according to the media, is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
She can do no right, according to any of them, despite the fact she's balling like shit.
Mm-hmm.
Now, we celebrate Caitlyn for balling like shit. That's totally fine, right?
Mm-hmm.
Why are we not celebrating her?
No, you're absolutely right. Absolutely valid points, man. Because it goes back to what we were talking about, man. It's the black versus the white.
Of course. And also, I want to make it clear that there was one of the girls from Iowa or something. Was it Iowa, Yukon? Who I don't remember. But it was Iowa, because when Angel Reese fouled out yesterday,
she waved at her.
She waved. Y'all didn't say shit. I didn't see anybody, any newscaster saying shit about that. Angel made a gesture, and y'all couldn't stop talking about the shit for a fucking week.
Yeah.
This girl waved by, like, sit down, bitch, because that's what she said. That's what that by wave was.
Well, you know what that was. That was also kind of like a ha to you kind of moment, because in the earlier rounds of the tournament, when I think they were playing Middle Tennessee, the LSU was, and one of the young ladies, fouled out the game. She fouled Angel, and as Angel was on, she kind of waved at her. So it's a get back. That's all it is. It's just
fine. But the thing is, nobody talked about it, right? When Angel does something, it's everyone on every ESPN, Fox Sports, like everyone is talking about it, right? This girl does the same thing, quiet as church mouse, right?
Yeah.
I just want you, the same way you were saying before, I want you to keep that same energy. That's
absolutely.
all.
Yeah, absolutely.
I feel like this win for Iowa, whatever. I feel like one of the reporters that I was watching earlier today made a really, really good point about Angel Reese. She said, she can trash talk like the best of them, right? But off the court, she's so different, and she's so unassuming, and she's so kind of quiet and really gentle and really, kind to everyone else. And I feel like that's the difference, right? When she's on the court, she's in beast mode. I am an athlete. I've got a job to do. Fuck all the bullshit, right? That's what it boils down to. But everyone has an opinion about her, but you don't even know this girl. You don't know her off the court. And it's totally fine for everybody else to talk trash literally, that's what basketball is. You talk trash. The fans, the players talk it, the coaches talk it, like everybody talks trash. That's what it is.
But you also have a standpoint too. You have a lot of these folks, again, these keyboard gangsters, or people who've never picked up a ball, or have no sort of athleticism
in their what she does,
that are jealous and just want to complain or say this, say that, because they don't understand, the true dynamics of being an athlete, playing
and also
sport.
the dedication, right? Like, she's a student athlete. She's juggling school with all of this. She's got her NIL, so thank God she's making money hands over fist, right? But she's got a lot going on. Like, I don't know. I don't like it.
Yeah, but it's all good. She has 48 hours to decide whether or not she's going to return back to school for a fifth year, or she's going to go to the league. I believe she'll probably end up going to the league.
You think so?
Yeah, because that team is, well, first of all, Mulkey did a horrible job coaching last night on that game. So as a basketball head and playing, who played and coached and all that good stuff like that, I was like, this is bad. This is bad. You can't have that little what's her name? Whatever her name, the little girl, the little young, the younger, the little young Water. No, because she's an adult, I don't want to be disrespectful. The short woman.
Okay.
Trying to guard Caitlin Clark, who's 6 feet. And I think that is like 5'7", maybe 5'7", 5, whatever.
What are we doing with that?
You can't do anything with that. And just, you got to double. They didn't double her. They didn't force her to pass that ball to the other players on her team to make them become the scorers. Take her out the game the best way that you possibly can. I mean, she's going to get hers regardless, but you got to make it difficult for her. I think it was just a badly coached game. And not to mention, like, next year, a lot of those players are going to be gone off of that LSU team.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
It's going to be a rebuilding year. We'll see. But nonetheless, the narrative will continue to roll, because if Iowa is able to get past UConn, which I
And
don't.
Huskies ain't no joke.
Yeah, which I don't think is going to happen if they're able to get past them, and South Carolina, Don Staley's team is able to beat.
I want Dawn Staley's team to win. I ain't gonna lie. Like there's some
I
about
yeah, I want them to win too because I want her to have because they lost in the Final Four last year to
right.
Iowa,
Right.
and so it would be a good good to see them get that opportunity to get and win the championship. But I would like to see them do it against Iowa because I literally I think Caitlin Clark's a dope player, whatever like that. But she does have those characteristics that that just be like she's like the player that you want to hate. You know what I'm saying? Although they try to doll her to make her be like this sweetheart or whatever, but she got some grit to her and she talks trash.
She wouldn't be where she is if she didn't.
Exactly. And I want to see them take a L. That's all.
I want Dawn Staley to win because I think that her career path has been so dope. Like to go from the NBA to go to coach girls basketball, to have undefeated seasons, to make it to the Final Four. Like I just want her to have all the flowers that she deserves because she really has done phenomenal things. And I love that for her.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I'm all for it, man. So we'll see what happens this weekend as we, get closer and closer to the Final Four. Well, my good friend, this has been exhilarating. This has been fun. It's always good to catch up with you. It's always good to just talk. And I always dig your perspective on things. And, it is what it is, man. We've been chilling for years, man. So thank you for being my first guest on Dope Chats with Stretch for the year 2024. This marks your third time on the show. So,
is it the third time?
Yes, this your third time on the show. So
I guess we should make it a habit, huh?
You rise to the yeah, man. Let's bring back our podcast, man. What happened to that? You killed
Perez and Stretch. Was it Stretch and Perez? I think it was Perez and Stretch. I don't even remember.
Perez and Stretch, ladies first. You know what I'm saying? I always, yeah.
We'll do something with that. I feel like this is gonna be the year. I feel like this is my Kobe year, and things are really gonna happen this year. I really feel confident about that. So we'll circle back to Perez and Stretch. I promise.
Sounds good. Well, I'm always around working on writing this next book. And
I'm going to need your advice because I'm working on a book. I'm working on a screenplay. I'm working on a lot of things. So I feel a little scatterbrained, to be honest. I feel like I'm like the jack of all trades and the master of none currently.
Yeah, you don't want to be that person. You want to make sure that you are able to, boom, 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 beat whatever it is that you put your foot on or put pen to paper, that you master it and you're good at it. And then you know what I'm saying, because you want to make sure you put all your talents and efforts to that particular project and not, go half-ass on it. So yeah, you'll knock it out, man. You'll be good nonetheless. You know what I'm saying? I'm here. Call on me.
Okay.
I like to sing now, Deja. As I got older, I just break out in song.
Yeah, you really just randomly break out in song.
Just be like, hey, psych.
Oh, really? Speaking of that, I want to ask you. So the iHeart Awards. I know. So let me just say this. Stretch and I could talk for 100 years. Like we literally do this all the time. But the iHeart Awards went down last night. Beyonce, of course, got the Innovator Award, but they also acknowledged Cher. I forget what award they gave her, but she came out and sang "Believe," which of course is her huge hit from like the early 2000s. Exactly. But they had Jennifer Hudson come out and sing with her, and people are really like, "Oh my God, Jennifer Hudson was trying to upstage Cher." Woo, 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 woo. Now, Cher's body language sounded like she was perfectly fine with it. Let's be clear, they rehearsed this. They didn't just pick Jennifer out the crowd and be like, "Hey, go sing with Cher." That didn't happen, right? Like,
sing Hudson. I mean, it's the same thing on the awards last night. So TLC performed, and Lotto came out
and Lotto did Left Eyes. But the thing is about that, she got a lot of smoke for that too. But the thing is that she has referenced Left Eye a lot of times as being an inspiration for her. So I understand, and they're all from the game. I get it.
But it wasn't great, to be honest with you. You look at it, she was out of breath.
I saw it.
Yeah, I'm like, I mean, if anything, just
everyone was saying Lil Mama would have done a better job.
Yeah, Lil Mama probably would. I mean, when in doubt, where's Lil Mama when you need her to jump on the stage?
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that.
Jump on the stage.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. She has been trying. She did an interview not that long ago with what's his name? Jay. I can't think of his last name. It was actually a really good interview, and she talked about it and how she was really essentially depressed about that for a really long time. Like she felt a way about it. And then of course everyone always brings it up. And it's just one of those things that she'd like to we've all made mistakes. Granted, most
make mistakes. You know what I'm saying? That was the perfect time for her to jump on the stage. And that would have saved it. You know what I'm saying? Because if she jumped on stage at that time, then everybody would have forgot about when she.
I don't think Lil Mama was at the iHeart Awards to do that, but I understand what you're saying.
Shit, people pop up out of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? You know,
full facts.
You know what I mean?
Period.
Yeah. All right. Nonetheless, man, thank you so much for your time, baby girl. I appreciate you. And this is the time for you to flex one time and let everybody know where they can follow you. Also, tell them where they can listen to you as well on these air stations,
on these airways. So, of course, I'm Deja Perez on everything, mostly IG. I don't think I've been on Facebook in forever. Oops. But definitely Deja Perez on all the things. And of course, you can catch me on Magic 102.3, 92.7. You can catch my What's Poppin' entertainment report in South Carolina. You can also catch it in Orlando, but most importantly as well, you can catch it in all the DTLR stores. So, you know, your girl be working.
There it is. There it is. You know what I'm saying? Putting it down one time for the one time. My girl, Deja Perez, doing big things as usual. Thank you so much, Deja. I look forward to connecting with you. We got to get up and do a little lunchy and all that good jazz. And for those out there who are listening or watching, don't forget, you can also catch Dope Chats with Stretch audio version of the show on Spotify, Amazon. What's the other one?
Apple Music.
Apple Music. And tune in. Yeah. So yeah, we rolling. We try to make things pop around here, Deja.
I see what you did there. What's popping?
Yeah. Come on now, Deja. I wasn't born last night, yo. Hey, thanks again, Deja. I love you, baby girl, and we'll get up very soon for sure.
All right.
All right, and to all of those out there, thank y'all for tuning in, man. You have yourself a wonderful, wonderful one, and we'll do it again next. Well, I don't know about next week. We're gonna do it again very soon. Peace.